Welcome to the Zebra Family channel. If you have not subscribed, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free. To everyone after visiting this channel and commenting, please don't forget to click the subscription button and like.
We lose one or two votes as a result of it. Doesn't matter, we do the correct thing. Yes. We must do the right thing, and I think it was correct for the ANC to say it may be that we're having elections, that it will be. We'll have elections at the end of the month, but we can't postpone correcting that is something wrong. We can't postpone it because there are elections. I think it was correct to act.
Thabo Mbeki has decided to abandon the ANC campaign. He is bitter about the postponement of Zuma hearing. So, looking at everything, it looks like there's a big fight between Zuma and Mbeki. It's a long fight that has been there for a long time. And Malema wants to talk about this. And in this video, you will hear Malema talking about it because he explained how and who is Mbeki, what did he do to play holy today, like he does, because it's like the formation of COP. Mbeki was involved in the formation of COP, but he plays holy. So now when it comes to the Zuma case, he's jumping guard, like he wants everything to be done because he's bitter with Zuma. The fight, he never want to let the grudge go. He has a very big grudge with Zuma. So the fight of Zuma and Mbeki, it will not stop. It's like it will be going on and on and on and on and on and on. So now some of the senior ANC members, they said they were not going to continue fighting this battle of Mbeki because this is personal. It's their fight. But Zuma is not in there. It's just Mbeki doing all these things. He once said he was not going to campaign for the ANC. Now he has turned to again to come and campaign for the ANC. And you don't understand. He's busy flip-flopping. Why is he flip-flopping? You know, it's so hard to understand Mbeki. What is he doing? But anyway, it's who he is. He's the former president of South Africa. So there's nothing we can do about it. It's up to him what he has decided. But really ANC, it doesn't look good for ANC. When you look at all the stunts that are going on within the ANC, there's a lot of things that are going. People are trying to abandon ANC because of its stance of looting and all these things. They have brought no electricity in South Africa, load shedding now and again. Now because it's time for campaign, they put the lights on. And we don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe after the elections, again, going back to stage 6 or stage 8, whatever it will be. But
people I can work with. And so he took his stand. And once he takes his stand, Mbeki takes his stand.
We lose one or two votes as a result of it. Doesn't matter, we do the correct thing. Yes. We must do the right thing, and I think it was correct for the ANC to say it may be that we're having elections, that it will be. We'll have elections at the end of the month, but we can't postpone correcting that is something wrong. We can't postpone it because there are elections. I think it was correct to act.
But ekungichazayo ngakho konke umalema uyakhuluma ngezinto but asimthathela phansi uma ekhuluma sithi hayi lona ulo. But Malema, when he talks about things that are there. You may not like it the way he say it, but he says things as they are. Because Malema is one person who doesn't care. He just confront you with the facts as they are. You like them or you don't like them, it's just who he is.
President Mbeki, when he was fighting with Zuma, went to Bloemfontein and said, we need a female president before Polokwane. And then he goes to Polokwane, he forgets it's not a female, he stands himself. After he said he wants a female president, and no one called him a flip-flopper, by the way. He's an intellectual, he's a thinker. Right? President Mbeki, the way he was so powerful, we feared that guy. When that guy walked into the corridors of COSAS, he knows we used to run like this. You know, a president you must run to. We run opposite direction, hiding. That if he asks you some difficult question, how are you going to navigate it? Had President Mbeki said Phumzile must be president of South Africa, he was going to write about it. If you don't hear him, he was going to write every Friday about it until you hear him. He was going to argue it intellectually and politically as to why. And with the power he had, we're going to accept it. President Mbeki was the most influential person even when we went to remove him in Polokwane in the Youth League. No one removed President Mbeki out of hatred. No one removed President Mbeki because we said he doesn't have capacity. We refused a third term. And that was so scary to us because of his proximity with President Mugabe. And we like, this guy who has a 2/3 says, I'm going to be president of the ANC. The constitution of the country doesn't allow third term. But the guy's got 2/3. He leaves Polokwane straight to Cape Town. He tells them, amend this thing and allow limitless presidency. What are you going to do? We were against the third term, and no one capable was ready to challenge him. That's how much he was feared. Then Zuma said, I've got nothing to lose. That's how he became president. Because we had no one. Not Trevor Manuel could stand. Phumzile could not stand. And look at what President Mbeki did to Phumzile now. She went to join COPE. And then she came back to the ANC.
Well, you are saying he made a U-turn. You're not saying it's a flip-flop. But if it was me who had said that, because I'm not your favorite, you would have called me names. And the good thing, Mbeki said that not so long ago, that he will not campaign for the ANC. And today says he's going to campaign for the ANC. What has changed in policy, in form and content in the ANC? The ANC is in a much more worse situation than when he said he will not campaign for that kind of the ANC. So it was not a principled stance. It was a factional position. What Zuma is doing is not for the first time it's being done. President Mbeki was right behind COPE, and he's not going to characterize Zuma's support for MK as counter-revolution and as if his support to COPE was revolutionary. Mbalula himself called Mbeki Dalai Lama of COPE, if you remember. And everybody who worked with Mbeki, from Phumzile to Smarts Ngonyama to Mbazima Shilowa and all kinds, went to join COPE. They were not going to do that without President Mbeki's blessings. And when these people went to join COPE, what did President Mbeki do in defense of the ANC? He silently kept quiet, kept a corner because he knew what he was doing. So we have a problem of these elders in the ANC who retire and still don't want to retire. So that's a big problem. President Mbeki should have found himself a farm in Gushwa and go and stay there, and then only travel the continent and the world as a special envoy or as someone who's going to give a lecture in some of the big universities like he was doing at UNISA. But to stay in Kilani and then wake up every morning to see the headlines, there is no way there won't be a temptation to want to comment on current affairs. President Mbeki is inviting himself back into the political battlefield, and that's where we are. We're going to have to respond to him.
We lose 1 or 2 votes as a result of it. Doesn't matter, we do the correct thing. Yes. We must do the right thing, and I think it was correct for the ANC to say it may be that we're having elections, that it will be. We'll have elections at the end of the month, but we can't postpone correcting that is something wrong. We can't postpone it because there are elections. I think it was correct to act.
Well, Thabo Mbeki, and it comes out there in the book. He's a man once he decides we are on the other side of him. He finds it very hard to pretend. He finds that you can read him like a book. If he doesn't like
everything is on his face.
Yeah. If he doesn't like you, you'll see it.
Yeah.
He can't pretend. Even the way he greets, the way he shakes your hand, it's that kind of, he can't pretend. I mean, that thing can be a strong point, but also it can be a weak point. So when those developments around COSATU and so on in the Communist Party, he had decided these are not the people I can work with. And so he took his stand. And once he takes his stand, Mbeki takes his stand, it's very difficult to move him.
He was in splendid isolation, as you said, as if
We lose 1 or 2 votes as a result of it. Doesn't matter, we do the correct thing.
Yes.
Decided these are not the people I can work with. And so he took his stand. And once he takes a stand, Mbeki takes a stand.
Totally wrong. Like in the case of Jacob Zuma, of course, the relationship must change radically with regard to that. With Comrade Ramaphosa, I work very well with Comrade Ramaphosa. You will have seen, for instance, that when I delivered this address on the 30 years of South African democracy, I cited some of the things he's been saying and doing because they were correct. So there's no problem there. But obviously, I would imagine that even if I did something wrong, Comrade Cyril would not hesitate to say to me, you're doing something wrong. In the same way, I do the same thing with him. But I'm saying in the case of Jacob Zuma, you can't act the way he has acted and hope to maintain an old relationship because he has broken that relationship. He's broken that relationship. You can't campaign against the ANC and pretend that the ANC belongs to Ramaphosa. He knows very well it does not belong to any Ramaphosa. It belongs to the people, it becomes the membership, it belongs to the country. But deliberately goes out and does a very wrong thing, and necessarily that means there will be a rupture. There will be a rupture. We can't, there's no way you can continue to deal with a person like that and call them comrade because they're not comrades.
Decided these are not the people I can work with. And so he took his stand. And once he takes his stand, Mbeki takes his stand.
Let's hear your opinion. What do you think about this Mbeki off-ramping from abandoning the campaign for ANC? What it means? Because he's a former president of the ANC. So abandoning, let's to bring up our opinions. And family, let's not forget to like, share, subscribe. Bravo, bravo, bravo.